Hi, this is George Reiser here again in this lockdown, sanitized world we're living in now to bring you maybe just a bit of laughter as we share today. Remember, you're supposed to be taking your medicine, as Proverbs says. Laughter is a good medicine. Now, sometimes these experiences are funny but puzzling at the same time. For instance, I was sitting in a finance committee meeting in a church a good while back when we were in the midst of debating of how we were going to note the windows, stained glass windows that we were going to be having had been given. Don, who was a well-respected, good church member of our community, had one idea. He wanted to give one in memory of his father, and he simply said we ought to be able to put one of those brass plaques under the window and say who it's given by and for whom it was given. Of course, on the other hand, I was saying to the committee that there were lots of people, especially older people that I knew, who would want to give to this cause but could not afford to give a window, even a half a window, or a fourth of a window. So I proposed that we simply have a single brass plate in the narthex with perhaps a book beneath it that indicated the names of all who had given for these windows. The debate was pretty intense, cordial. Donna and I were never dismissive of each other or angry at each other, but we were on different sides, ultimately different sides of that issue. We were stymied. We were both arguing our positions very strenuously, and then, as we often do in church meetings, we paused and looked at Charles, the chair of the finance committee, as if to say, okay, now how are you going to figure this out? Charles thought for a minute, and then he said, well, I'll tell you this, I feel strongly both ways. Well, we sat in stunned silence. I was sort of giggling, and then we went ahead and made a decision. I really don't remember what that decision was. All of that debate really didn't matter that much in the long run. But I've learned as I share this story laughingly over the years that there's also a lesson that is tied to it. You cannot think strongly both ways, especially in the world of the Spirit. In Joshua chapter 24, I believe it is, the leader is asking the people to decide whether they're going to follow their God who brought them out of Egypt or follow the false god of the land they were in, Baal. He simply said, choose this day whom you will serve. Jesus took a little different and more concrete way of saying it. He said, you cannot serve two masters. You'll hate one and love the other, or just simply not be able to do that. You cannot, in the world of the Spirit, feel strongly both ways. So I encourage you to laugh a little bit today and learn a little lesson that comes along with it. Take your medicine today.